You're not overspending because prices are rising. You're overspending because your brain is being manipulated. And the scary part? It's happening right now. Every time you walk into a store, scroll through Amazon, or fill up your gas tank. This isn't about willpower. It's not about being bad with money. It's about three psychological forces that get triggered inside your brain. And if you've ever walked out of a grocery store thinking, wait, how did I spend this much? This video is going to explain exactly why and what to do about it. Let's talk about what's happening in America right now. Eggs, gas, rent, groceries, everything costs more, and you feel it every single week. The average American household is spending hundreds of extra dollars every month compared to just a few years ago. People are skipping vacations, switching to store brands, cutting back wherever they can. And yet, credit card debt just hit record highs. Savings are shrinking. More Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, even people who never thought they would be. So here's the real question. If money is tighter than ever, why aren't we naturally spending less? Because the problem isn't your income. It's not your discipline either. It's your brain. And when prices rise, your brain doesn't get smarter. It actually starts making worse decisions. There are three specific psychological forces behind this, and they all get supercharged the moment prices go up. Let's start with the first one. Scarcity. Now, you might think scarcity would make you more careful with money. Logically, it should, but here's the problem. Your brain doesn't experience scarcity like a budget spreadsheet. It experiences it like a threat. When your brain senses something is running out, money, time, opportunity, it switches into survival mode. And in survival mode, your thinking actually gets worse. There's a landmark study from Princeton and Harvard that proved this. People under financial stress performed significantly worse on basic reasoning tests, not because they were less intelligent, but because their brain was burning so much energy managing the stress that there was almost nothing left for clear, rational thinking. Think about what that really means. You're already stressed about money, and now your brain is less capable of making good money decisions. That's the trap. Scarcity doesn't make you save money, it makes you panic spend. And here's where it gets dangerous. Retailers know exactly how this works. That's why during inflation, you start seeing more of limited time only 3 left in stock. Prices going up soon. Stock up now. Those aren't warnings. They're triggers, designed to activate the scarcity response inside your brain. And suddenly, instead of asking, do I need this? Your brain starts asking, what if I miss out? That one shift alone can cost you hundreds of dollars every single month. Now, let's talk about the second force. Loss aversion. This one is even more powerful and far more sneaky. Here's how it works. Your brain doesn't treat gains and losses equally. Losing something hurts about twice as much as gaining the same thing feels good. Losing $20 feels genuinely worse than finding $20 feels good. Let that sink in. Now here's the part nobody talks about. When prices go up, your brain stops seeing purchases as spending. It starts seeing them as preventing future loss. So instead of thinking, I'm spending money, your brain thinks, if I don't buy this now, I'll lose more later. That's why so many people justify purchases during inflation. Let me get this before it gets more expensive. Sounds responsible, right? But it almost always leads to overbuying. Here's a real example. Gas prices jump 50 cents a gallon. You spot a station across town that's 5 cents cheaper. You drive 15 minutes out of your way. You save maybe $2, but your brain didn't calculate the time, the extra miles, or the stress. It only focused on one thing, avoiding the loss. That feeling, I cannot let prices beat me. is so powerful, it pushes you into decisions that don't actually make financial sense. And this is where it gets really tricky. That same loss aversion makes you more likely to buy things when prices are rising. Because your brain sees the higher future price as a loss you can prevent right now. You think you're being smart, but you're actually being manipulated by your own nervous system. Now here's the third force, and honestly, this might be the most dangerous one. Dopamine-driven spending. Most people think dopamine is about pleasure. It's not. Dopamine is about anticipation. It's the chemical your brain releases when it expects a reward, not when it actually gets one. Here's the connection to inflation. When you're stressed about rising prices, your brain is stuck in a constant low-grade threat state. Cortisol, your stress hormone, is elevated. Your body feels it. Your mind feels it. And your brain desperately searches for something to break that tension. Shopping does that. Even small purchases, especially purchases that feel like a deal, because a deal feels like a win. And when everything around you feels expensive and out of control, your brain is starving for a win. You're not buying things, you're buying relief from stress. Picture this. You walk into a store already frustrated. You've spent more than you wanted to. Then you spot something on clearance, marked down 40%. Your brain lights up. Finally, a win. That small dopamine hit is powerful enough to override logic. You don't just buy the item, you buy the feeling. And that's where it gets really dangerous. Because now you're not just spending money, you're using spending as emotional relief, as a coping mechanism. And retailers have studied this for decades. The yellow clearance tags, the big red save banners, they aren't informational. They're dopamine triggers, dressed up as math. Now, let me bring all three forces together with one story. Imagine you walk into Costco on a Saturday. You have a list. You know your budget, but prices have been climbing every single week. So you walk in already slightly anxious. You start shopping normally. Then you see a buy two, save big sign on paper towels. Scarcity fires instantly. Prices are going up, stock up now, or regret it later. 2 packs go in the cart. Then you pass a blender, marked down from $80 to $54. You already own a blender, but loss aversion kicks in. If I don't grab this now, I'll pay full price later. And then dopamine seals the deal. After all this stressful shopping, I deserve one win. It goes in the cart. You walk out spending $120 more than planned. And here's the part that should really get you. You don't feel bad about it. You feel justified. Because every single decision felt completely logical in the moment. That's all three forces: scarcity, loss aversion, and dopamine, working together in real time. It didn't feel like irrational spending. It felt like smart survival. So what do you actually do with this? First, give yourself some grace. Your financial stress is not a reflection of your intelligence. It is a biological response to a threatening environment. Your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. But here's the mindset shift that changes everything. The next time you feel urgency around a purchase, that urgency is not a signal to act. It's a signal to pause. The more urgent it feels, the more likely your brain is reacting to a trigger, not a real need. Ask yourself one question before any non-essential purchase. Am I buying this because I need it? Or because something is making me feel like I'll lose if I don't? That one question, asked honestly and consistently, can save you hundreds of dollars every single month. Because the stores have a strategy, now you have one too. If this changed how you see your own spending, even a little, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow. And subscribe if you haven't yet. If you learned this today, you're already ahead of 90% of people, but this is just the beginning. Next, we're going to talk about something even more dangerous. It's called lifestyle creep. It's the reason people who finally get a raise somehow end up broker than before. Same brain, more money, worse results. Because the next time you feel that pressure, that's your brain reacting. But now, you won't react. You'll think. Hit subscribe so you don't miss it. I'll see you there.